What is up, everyone? Today, it's a good day. I decided to buy a TIG welder. I feel like everyone, when they get to a certain point when they're working in their garage or they start to do a hobby, kind of starts off small and works its way up. There are certain milestones, and welding, I feel, is a pretty large one. It opens up a door to a lot of different projects, a lot of different repairs, a lot of different everything. Having said that, I bought a TIG welder. It's a Lincoln Electric. It is a TIG 200 square wave K5126-1. It's a fairly common one. I feel like I've seen a million of these on the internet, and I know how to MIG weld. There's welds out there I've MIG welded, and some look great. Some look like a fourth grader did it. But I feel that's pretty common amongst welding. It's an art for sure. So I do not know how to TIG weld very well. And this is going to be a good machine to kind of build my skills, and it's going to be big enough to where I get to the point where when I am a little bit more confident, I can do medium-sized jobs or welds. I'm not going to be doing, a lot. It's mainly just going to be for me. If I need to weld something, or if a relative needs something welded, I want to have the ability to do that. There's certain repairs would be a lot easier if I could just weld, and welding is just kind of fun, not gonna lie. I got the TIG one because, like I said, I don't know how to do it very well, and I wanted to learn. But also, MIG to me is just a lot. It's just a lot. I'm not a fan of wire feed in general. This has a tungsten, I know, so that's a lot easier. I understand you need filler rod, and that's perfectly fine with me. I have two hands and they both work, so that should be okay. This is going to be a little harder, also understandable. I've seen the reviews and people say you should never buy one if you don't already know how to weld well, and so on and so forth. Having said that, this is what's going to come in. We have a AC/DC welder, so that's going to allow us to do aluminum. 12 and a half feet, a 17 series 150A TIG torch with flexible hand on Ultra Flex. Actually, I think I bought one of those too a long time ago. I might have another one, because I was going to buy a welder a while ago, but I never actually did. They were always just too expensive. This I forget, but it was around $1,800. Number 7 nozzle, 1/16 collet and collet body, 3/32 collet bodies. Literature, foot amp control, stick electrode holder. Oh, okay, I didn't know it actually came with that. That's good. Another good thing is, almost every, from what I understand, TIG welder is also a stick welder, and because this is a 200, it should give us an option. This is a 110 and 220 machine. I do not intend on plugging this into 110. I have installed, well, almost finished. I just need to actually buy the outlet, but I have the breaker installed and everything wired up. I just need to install the outlet, and then I'm going to be connecting this to 240. So it should give us much higher ability of welding. So let's open it up. The UPS delivered it. Apparently it's over 70 pounds. I can definitely agree with that. It's not a light machine. Let's push this down. I'm going to be putting a link to this in the description below. Granted, everyone has one of these on their website. My local welding supply store, they have these available as well, except I think they were trying to sell theirs for $2,100. Granted, I don't know if there's certain levels of quality. Maybe if you did this for a living. Granted, if you're doing this for a living, I don't think you'd be buying an entry-level welder. But if you were, I'm not going to judge. Maybe there's the internal components are more robust. I'm not really sure. I also have a 80 tank that originally came with 25% CO and 75% argon. That I went today to get or to exchange out, but unfortunately my welding supply store is rather small, and apparently someone came over and just exchanged out like 12 tanks or whatnot, and they ran out. They said they would have some ready for me tomorrow, but I'm not going to go there tomorrow, so I'm not going to actually be able to weld. But this is pretty beefy cord. That's nice. There we are. So usually, I originally had planned to actually do like a test weld on this, but with me not having any argon, I'm not going to be welding with the argon mix. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to stick with just unboxing, and I will do another one later. So this is obviously the 110. And the 240. Okay. Very nice. So here's our torch, along with the cup, number 7, just like they had said. It looks like it comes with the short. No, it's the long. For the tungsten, there's like the short and the long ones. I don't really know, besides maybe convenience of getting your torch into a smaller area, the relevance of that. I read online it came with the long one. I bought a kit that came with the short, and I bought a couple electrodes that were short. Let's open this up. I guess I could just take a long one, but I didn't really want to just like ruin the long one. That's a pretty intense container. There we go. Is it sharpened? Comes with the purple. Tungstens, they'll come in different colors for different applications. Purple, purple, purple. I'm trying to remember what purple is. I feel like purple's like the general one that pretty much can do 98% of everything. There might be a couple metals that you're not supposed to do, use purple with, but or at the very least, it's not most sought after type of tungsten out there. I'm going to do a video later on setting everything up once I have everything ready and doing a first weld with this machine, so look out for that. Right now I'm just going to do the unboxing, but as of right now everything seems to be pretty high quality. The cup felt nice, doesn't seem too thin. Torch, they said it was a flexible head. No, it's not. It's a Pro Torch Magnum. This is supposed to be 25 feet in here, so least that's what I thought it said. 12.5 feet, excuse me. I doubled in my head. I'm going to be making a torch stand because I saw very highly recommended, basically anything, but let me rephrase. It was very highly recommended that you get something, because a lot of people will end up, you know, wrapping this around them, holding it over their shoulder or whatnot. I want to get like a stand for it for my table. But anyway, that's a different story. So far, I mean, it seems pretty standard. These look pretty nice. They're not just jankily put in there. They're nice and secure. But it's pretty heavy. Seems very well built. I'm pretty happy with it so far. The only thing I don't like is maybe, like I said, I would like to get a flexible head. The few times that I have TIG welded, I've used the flexible head. I was told at the time not to get used to it because that is just one of those things that, I don't want to say a luxury item, but you don't generally get to work with unless you purposely went after and got one. This is the foot pedal. I've read a few reviews online that said that this was probably the jankiest thing that they've had in here. The grip feels good. There's also grip on the bottom. That appears to be more of a rubber. This is definitely more of like a sandpaper consistency. I don't really understand why they would say it's bad. Seems pretty sturdy to me. The pads are securely placed on there. Here's the bottom one. The top one is a little less, but the glue seems like it'd be fine. Maybe they're talking about the wire or the cable connecting it. The cable connecting it looks to be a 6-pin connection. I mean, I don't really understand what they would be talking about. The only thing I could think of is just how it's connected. It's not like this, where it's just like a standard cable. But I would also imagine maybe you can get a different adapter for, or you need to get a different end for it maybe. I'm assuming it's going to work on this one. It came with it, but this is probably the only thing I come up with why they would say that. Granted, these are people on Amazon, so take that as you will. Oh, it even comes with this. Okay, let's see. Let's just throw that away. You're blinking, so hopefully we can get through this. Okay, fine. There we go. Regulator. Take a look at that. Gauges appear to be pretty easy to read. They have a film on there, a little plastic protector on there as already. That's good. seem very securely connected. Model 601-5-30. It's pretty simple. Let's see. Oh, the instructions. The optional heel rest. That's what the other piece was. Maybe that's what they were talking about. Maybe the heel rest is just kind of subpar. Work clamp and lead assembly. Okay, so this is where most welders end up getting to be kind of sketchy. Clamp. But so far, this looks pretty good. The wire is securely connected. It's not dangling off the end, so if you pull on it, it's going to have a risk of dislodging itself. Goes through the handle itself, and I guess you could still do that, but it'd be a lot harder. The handle, the clamp itself, I mean, is pretty thick. Has a decent amount of spring tension in there, but at the same time, it's not so much where your hand is kind of having a hard time opening it. I guess if you want, no, even doing really wide is pretty decent. But it has enough tension where you're not afraid if it's going to slip off if you accidentally look at it the wrong way. That's good. The connection is pretty much the same. Why they couldn't do the normal twist tie. Okay. Seems to be pretty well put together. Cable, same thing as before, seems secure in place. Seems to be a nice cable. It's pretty thick. According to the cable itself, it's a 4-gauge. What's this? Important safety and operating instructions. We'll read that later. I don't think there's going to be anything don't already know, but best to be safe than sorry. The electrode holder and lead assembly. When you open this too, don't just slam your blade in there. I'm barely skimming the surface. Okay, so this must be for the stick, obviously. That is pretty heavy, actually. There's a lot more spring tension in this, but I mean, I guess you do want a lot of tension on that. You don't want it to be. Okay, you turned around and you were off. So I don't know where we left off, but same thing. Looks pretty nice. It's nothing I would have any concerns over. Everything seems nice and robust. The bread and butter of it all. The machine in person. What do we have on the side? Looks like we have a nice little quick reference guide. It gives you a nice little set of instructions already. Stick, clamp goes to negative. The actual stick goes to positive. TIG, torch goes to negative. The clamp goes to positive. That's feels like that should be pretty self-explanatory, but who knows. I'll be reading that later. Okay, let me get this out and I'll be right back. So here it is. Firmly tighten connectors. Okay, guys? On, off. Material feels to be pretty thick. Lincoln Electric Green Initiative, inverter technology reduces energy demand. Well, that's good, I suppose. What do we have here? Looks like we have some helpful guides. That is a monstrous fan. It's the other side. Wow, it's so reflective, you can't see me. Okay, material. So this is a guide that should help us all out. So we have, let's say we have some just plain old aluminum. 1/16 of an inch, 75 to 85 amps. The highest you're going to be looking at for this machine, it looks to be about 3/16 of an inch. And I'm assuming that is not on 110 either. It's definitely heavy. That can be one of those that you want to put on a tiny little cart. You're going to need something a little bit robust. I want to say this weighs like a good 20 pounds more than the MIG welder I was using before. Oh, this seems nice and high quality. There's nothing really tinny about anything, that's good. The finish is nice. I'm happy. I'm real happy with it. I think it'll be a nice addition to my little garage here. Out of 10, man. And I guess the only thing I would really say is just the controls in the front are just a little bit limited. But I haven't read the book or even turned it on. I don't know. But how much can you really do with a 3-digit display? I guess that's really my only thing I would have against it. But for the price and considering what can be done with TIG welders, I'm very happy with it. I've seen other cheaper TIG welders that you get on eBay, Amazon, whatever website of choice. They're like $500-600 and they can go up to 200 amps, but then you look at it and it's just total crap. One of those you kind of feel weird about even touching it while it's on, like at all, even with your gloves on. But yeah, I like it. I would say out of 10, 9.5, with the exception of just that display, which that's kind of rough on me. I mean, that very well could just be my ignorance on the subject, but quality of it, yeah, I'm very happy. It's we'll see how it welds here soon. Hopefully my tank, well, they'll have more tanks to change out tomorrow. Go over and grab one, and then I will install my new outlet. I also need to get an extension cord because my outlet is on my wall, and I need to make sure that I can, come out in here and in the middle of the garage if I need to, or maybe even in the driveway, who knows. I need to read up on the length of extension cords because I'm sure that has some ramifications if you go too long or what, how be it, but I'm not really sure. I'll have to look it up. If you guys know, let me know what you think is the acceptable range of extension cords, or should I not even bother with the extension cord? Because originally over here next to generator central and underneath the wood top of the bench, I was going to put it down there, just make the shelf a little lower if I can, or take off that front support excuse me, and put it down there. But it's also wood. That was my worrisome. I'm probably just going to buy a cart actually and just put the cart pretty close to the wall because the outlet is next to the bench. Yeah, it should fit. So I could potentially just put it where this toolbox is and find a different place for the toolbox. But I mean, I already have the cart. That shouldn't be a problem. Oh well, that's a different story for a different time. So let me know. Put a comment below. Like it if you like it. Put a thumbs up. That way other people, if they're looking for one, they can read or see my first introductions to it, and maybe help persuade them and buy it. I'll be doing that other video, like I said, on the actual welding part of it, so keep an eye out for that. 'Cause it may look good, it may be its best quality ever, but if it welds like crap, it's not a point of giving it a good rating now, isn't it? Okay, see everyone later. Subscribe. I will catch you on the next video. Have a good night.